Hey y'all, it's Miranda. I'm back. Here we go again. Another great video about some traumatic life lesson I had to learn the hard way. And I'm excited to share it because this time, like the other one, I actually get to help hopefully other people not make the same mistakes as me. I'm exhausted and I just want to chill. But that doesn't seem like it's gonna happen anytime soon, so here we are. I figured this makeup would be suitable since, you know, sucks sometimes, and this album helped me get through a f***ing lot. This time, I actually want to talk about a situation that happened to me that is purely art-based, not emotional or a story that I put into art. I'm going to take these out because I really want to get a little bit more serious. Alrighty, much better. Okay, you know, I'm finally getting myself back into my art career, you know, actually being a part of the community. Just felt like everything was gonna fall back into a groove where I can start to sell my art, make my new website, you know, learning how to contact and connect with clients and customers and people who are interested in supporting me as an artist. So as some of you know, I had an Etsy shop up for a long time that I would sell my art through, and that was really great. And I felt like I could really trust Etsy and have that as my beacon for a means to communicate with clients to sell my art in like a structured, professional way, safe way. And retelling this story, I feel really, really silly and everything seems super obvious in hindsight, but at the time, I really just was excited. I got a message from a certain person. I don't think I'm gonna use their names just to avoid any type of, I don't know. So this particular person messaged me on my Etsy conversation section and said, hey, this is so-and-so, here's my email. I would really like to continue to talk to you through our emails about purchasing a specific piece of mine. And that specific piece was Mascara Tears. It was such a crazy thing for me to hear that somebody wanted to purchase her. It's a picture of me in a very vulnerable state. I mean, it's a very dramatic piece when you see it. I guess maybe that should have been my first red flag, that somebody was wanting to buy a painting of myself. I didn't think I'd ever really sell this piece because I was like, it's kind of just for me to have, very similar to Drowning Lessons. I wouldn't expect anyone to actually want to buy one of them just to have in their room, you know? Not to be super self-deprecating, but it really was a shock to me. I was initially like, that's weird. Maybe it's just because it's a really intense piece. Somebody wants it. You know, maybe for another showcase or just a collection. I didn't know. So I just kind of went with it and I felt really proud and really happy that they were interested. So another thing I should have probably realized, and I remember doing my research after, everything should have been handled through the Etsy app. But I was willing to, talk to this person over email and went straight there and started just conversating with them over that. Don't do that. Just keep everything within the forum. I learned that from a YouTuber that I've been watching that talks about scams and stuff. But even if you have your own website, which I'm going to start up too, you're going to have to conversate with people through your website, through your phone, through your email. Just be careful. So the person's whole story, made up story, was that their uncle was going to send me a check and I just need to tell them the price of the painting, which first of all, it's on my Etsy. There's already a price set for the painting. So that was another red flag that I was like, didn't you see the price of it? I just thought, oh, they don't know. They're wanting to know my commission fee, or they're wanting to know my shipping fee or my handling fee. You know, I was trying to think of any scenario that was like, oh, I know why they're asking. I had that little bit of a like light bulb going off, like, well, shouldn't they already kind of like know how much it's gonna be? But I figured they were just wanting to be respectful or polite if I had like an additional shipping fee to get it to them, which I respected. I was like, okay, cool, like, because that's what I would have said anyways, like, hey, just so you know, it's gonna be more than just the painting itself. It's gonna be additional charges to handle it and put, you know, give it to them, make sure it gets there safely, all that stuff. I just had enough good hindsight reason why it was okay. They continue to go on this whole tangent about how their uncle is going to purchase it for them, and it's really important that they get it soon. red flag. They're rushing me. Like, you come to me and now you're on a time limit that I have to now honor. Like, hello, I just met you, and you're already like, okay, hurry, I need your art now. Like, what are you doing? Hurry up. It's like, okay, slow down. Like, you came to me, you should have come to me ahead of time. If you're a professional trying to run a showcase or something or buy an artwork, an artist shouldn't feel that rushed all of a sudden. Like, you should have already planned that. I just thought, oh, okay, maybe they were searching and they finally found the right piece and it was mine, and they were like, okay, we really need it quick, like, please hurry. We were texting as well, and they said, hey, did you get my most recent email? Like, kind of just all of a sudden out of nowhere, just really urgent. Everything's kind of being confirmed, like, yep, that's a great price, sounds good. He's writing the check. It's on priority mail. It's very urgent that whenever it comes right away, you have to cash it, deposit the check, and then send us the artwork as soon as possible. Keep a lookout for it, please, please, please. And I was like, okay, yeah. So a couple days go by and I get the check, and it is way over the amount that I asked for the painting and the shipping and all that involved. A substantial amount was added. I emailed them and they said, oh, I'm so sorry, that was unintentional. This whole excuse, which I was like, I told you the amount exactly. Like, I kind of went through and told them, like, here's how much the painting is, here's how much the shipping is, here's how much my fee is. Like, I broke it all down and then told them the total and, like, made sure that I was really clear, and so they felt, you know, gratified in what they were paying for, all that. And the fact that they would send me a check that's way over the amount that they owed me just seemed completely unprofessional. Like, they weren't even listening to me, and it just felt like, what's going on? That's another red flag. I'm telling them, please don't worry, like, I'm not gonna deposit, like, just please have him, you know, rewrite me a check and I'll rip this one up and make sure that it's taken care of so that nothing comes out of that check. It would just be the one that you resend me for the right amount. Here's how much you owe me. Try to, you know, spell it out for them again so that we could just do this right and everything will be okay. The person was like, no, that's the only check that they can send. That's the only check that my uncle can send. And we're really on a time crunch. Like, you have to deposit that check and then wire us back the money. They had to send me a check, but I'm supposed to send them money through it safely for them to be able to get my money right away, instant. It just, oh my gosh, I like kicked myself. Like, I should have totally seen this as a complete scam, but I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all. So I told them, I said, yeah, if your uncle can't rewrite me a check, I'm just really not comfortable with that. I'm really sorry if you have like a deadline for an event or anything, but I really am just not comfortable with depositing that much money from your account for something that was not owed to me, especially because we had it all written out. Like, I had made sure I told them exactly how much they owed me so that there would be no confusion or no situation like this was turning into. They just kept pushing me back, like, no, please, like, I really, really need this piece. Like, it's really important that I get it. It's like the perfect piece. Like, there's tons of apps and tons of ways, safe ways to do it so that we can just not deal with this check situation. Very easy, and it's instant. No, I can't make an account. I can't do a PayPal. I can't do this. I can't do that. It has to be check. Fine, if this person is really insistent on not doing it any other way when they're paying me, then at least when the check clears and I see it in my account, the amount put in, then we're good. So I told myself, go to the bank and make sure that when they clear it and deposit it, and I see it physically in my account, the amount, then it's safe. Obviously, I learned after the fact that a check can clear, and even be there for like 2 weeks or so, and then all of a sudden just not be there anymore. I didn't know that. And I know that now. And for any artist or anyone in any situation doesn't know, you can have a check clear and you can have that money amount in there for several days, and then all of a sudden it'll just go away. So that's just another thing that I had to learn. So when I went to the bank and gave them the check and they cleared it and put it in my account, got in my car, looked on my app and saw the amount put in, I was like, okay, we're good to go. It cleared. Okay, yeah, I can send one of your vendors that you're working with the rest of the money. Should have been the red flag. Should not have done that. It's so obvious now that it's a scam. Like, that person can't seem to make their own app or do any type of Venmo or anything to send me money safely, but I'm supposed to send them through one of those apps safely to a different person. It doesn't make sense. And I should have known that, and it just sucks. So yeah, okay, that's fine. Give me their name, because at least if I do it, at least the check cleared. I have some of that control now and make sure that everything is done safely. So that was my mindset. And so I sent it to this person that they wanted me to send it to, and it worked. And I was like, great. I felt so much better. I was like, yes, they can trust me. Like, I'm trustworthy with this amount of money. And I gave it back to them, so I'll get a good review and all this stuff. It was just a really big relief to be done with that part of it. And so now it was just me having to send the artwork off, and I was super excited. So I, thanked them for their business, and I said I'm gonna send it off right away. And I mail it off, and everything felt good. Another weird thing was that I kept insisting from the beginning, like, hey, do you have an Instagram? Do you have a Facebook page? Any type of social media that I can follow you on or something, so that whenever you get it, you can send me pictures. When I've gone and done a show, when someone buys my art, I always follow them and keep up with them and ask them if they can kindly send me a picture where their artwork that they bought from me ended up. I like seeing their new homes. So at that point I was like, yeah, please keep up with me. Like, I would love to know what event you're doing and see where the artwork goes, and I just really wanted to know so I could post about it. The delivery day that it was sent, I hadn't heard anything yet, and I was kind of like, hey, did you get it? Because it was so urgent that they got it on time. So I was kind of expecting, like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, we got it right away, here it is. But they didn't. So I had to ask them, like, hey, did you get it? Are you good? Like, is everything okay? I hope it didn't get lost. My brain goes to all those crazy scenarios. So they were like, yeah, no, we got it. We're super excited. Thank you so much. Last ditch effort. Do you have an Instagram? Do you have anything like that you can send me pictures of where it ends up and let me know, where it's going and all that stuff? So one day I'm just busy out doing stuff, and I get a notification from my bank that I am in the negative. And that has never ever happened to me before. I've been with the same bank for many, many years. I immediately call my bank and start asking questions like, what's going on? Like, why am I in the negative? And I think a part of me did know. Obviously, I was like, oh no, please don't tell me. Please don't tell me this was like a whole thing. I should have known. Everything started coming up now, and they were like, yep, it's because of that check that you deposited like 10 days ago, 10 days out from this check being cleared, and now it came back uncleared and just taken out of my account. So I'm in panic mode now, texting them and trying to call them. No answer, no replies, until like 30 minutes later. Red flag there too. Just, oh, I'm not feeling well. I'll talk to my uncle. I'm not sure about the financial situation that's going on. Like, I'll have to talk to him and figure this out. Like, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, but like, I'm in the negative here. Like, I hope you're feeling better. Like, I'm like insisting on calling them. I keep telling them, you really need to give me a call back. We really need to resolve the situation. And they're like, okay, yeah, blah, blah, all these excuses to not give me a call back. And I don't have my artwork anymore, and that's a big part of it. I'm talking to my family and friends and such, and I was just like, out of everything, like, you had to take mascara tears, like, of all the paintings, and I'm like crying and just upset, going through all the other stuff I was going through, and just everything just felt like, oh my gosh, I'm telling myself all these bad things about myself, like, you should have known, you're just really not careful and all this stuff, and I got too excited, and I should have known that it wasn't meant to be, all this stuff, just beating myself up a lot. I was still having that little bit of like hope, like maybe it's just a misunderstanding and everything was gonna be fine. They never even kept up with me on text or email about sending me back anything in any type of way, shape, or form. Just crappy situation. Just a really, really bad situation. And I just felt completely defeated and like, wow, really, Miranda? Like, man, like, you should have known. It's just having a really, really hard time with it. At this point, I am completely accepting of this is just a complete scam and this person took my art from me. The biggest part of it was like, you took a really, really meaningful piece from me, something that really meant a lot to me. Like, my last grasp at the last straw was, can you at least just send me a picture of my artwork so I can know that she's okay? Like, I was like, my baby, can you at least tell me she's all right? Like, a hostage situation. It's not funny, but I have to make light of it. Like, what are you gonna do with it? Like, what do you even do with the artworks that you take from artists? Because at this point, my family and everyone researches the name and all that stuff. And again, I'll give you that link so you can see. And I'm like, of all the other artists that had to go through this and were victim to this scam, where did their art go? Like, what happens to it? Like, do y'all just put it up on like a mural of like all the successful scams you've done correctly with an artist? Or do y'all just toss them? I just can't believe people like you really exist. Like, I really kind of just started getting angry. I was like, this is, you know, completely, you're taking from not only my financial situation, but my craft. That's like the most important part of this. How could you do stuff like this to people? At this point, you stole everything from me. I'm at a point of like, I'm just gonna pester you and spam you until you feel like really, really shitty. A couple days go by and I'm slowly kind of just letting things come to a standstill over time, letting my bank handle the rest of it. And I get a call from the post office that I sent the artwork from, and they were like, hey, we have your artwork here, a certain artwork. Oh my gosh. They let me know that a certain artwork was waiting for me. It had been denied by the recipient. And I was like the happiest I've ever been in my whole life. Like, out of everything that happened, like the money I lost, like the distrust that I now had for the world and for people who might be interested in my artwork, like having to be super on my guard now, all of this crazy stuff that I had to go through with this happening. This was like the happiest I've ever been. Like, she came back to me. I don't know if they had some type of change of heart. I don't know what their mindset was, or if they really thought after everything I said, like, yeah, this is a really shitty situation, maybe we should send her back her art, just because it is really crappy to do that. We already got the money, whatever. I don't know what came to be, why they sent it back, but I have her back. She's here, Miss Mascara Tears, and now she's even more of a reality for me when it comes to my life, my art, my everything. This is me. This is my life right now. One day, like now, I can laugh about it, but even one day way further down, I'll be able to just look back at all of these videos and all these situations and just laugh and be like, you know, it is what it is. And all my grandkids and nieces and nephews and sisters will be able to learn from my mistakes and my pain. When I showed my sister, I was like, Sarah, guess what? And I showed her this and she literally grabbed it and hugged it. She was like, oh my God, she's back, Mascara. Oh my gosh. You just gotta laugh about it. It's just so ridiculous. Like, out of all those things I really should have known, and I had those gut feelings, and I should have listened to them. And I thought I did. And the crazy thing is, I really thought I was listening to my gut feelings, and then I tried to keep making sure everything was taken care of safely. If I have her forever, that's great. There's way too much in her that is like so meaningful to me. But yeah, I mean, it couldn't have been like, I would have been fine if they wanted drowning lessons. Like, hello, like if you're gonna take any artwork from me, can it not be her? Like, whatever. I'm kidding. I love drowning lessons too. I would be just as sad if someone did that too. I'd be like, are you serious? I really have issues now. That's like a double whammy. Like, oh my God, I really can't do anything. It feels secure. Anyways. Well, that's kind of it. I mean, that's like the happy ending to this story is, you know, I learned my lesson and everything's good now. And yeah, that's just don't take checks when you get your gut feeling, follow it, do your research. I know everything's really obvious in hindsight, and just do the best you can. These kind of situations and these kind of people that do this kind of stuff are really clever in a lot of ways, and they really harbor on the fact that they can manipulate and push you and take advantage in a lot of ways. So don't beat yourself up too much. And sometimes it can just be really difficult to be able to look after yourself when you're in a really vulnerable state. And we all know that right now I'm more prone to those moments. I'm having to just cut my losses and try to be a better person for it. Part of me kind of keeping up with this art channel again and stuff is to be able to reflect and make light and add color to my life again when I'm, you know, going through life right now. And that's kind of why she looks the way she looks, because when I took this picture of me crying and then painted it, I really didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I wanted to just get out this emotional point of life I was going through, even at that time in college. But I wanted it to have some type of other meaning, which was this, you know, rosy pink, glossy look to it that actually made it seem like, hey, like this is all for the better, in a weird, contrasting way. Like your pain is gonna make you happier one day. That's kind of where I'm at with everything going on in my life. It's how I make sense of it. It's like, this is all gonna be okay one day, and because you went through these crazy things and had these crazy situations happen to you, it's gonna be to make you a better, brighter person. And go listen to Barriers, because it's a great album and it's helping me a lot right now. It's helped me honestly since this year started when it came out in May. So yeah, go do that and cry it out sometimes, scream it out sometimes. It helps. I sure have been doing that a lot lately. I'm probably gonna keep doing that for a while until things are somehow normal again. Feel free to make your own videos about your stories. I feel like it would really help the whole community to actually know about situations like this happening, so that we can all protect each other, because this particular name that this person used on me has been used on others, and then it's also been other names, but I think it's the same person doing it. So if we can find some way to try and stop this and keep people from not losing a lot of money or even losing their artwork, I think I actually am a lot luckier than most I've seen, because some people didn't even get their artwork back. And I just want people to be safe, and I don't want this to happen to anybody else. Everything's good now. It's been like I don't know, it's been about like a month since everything happened, so I don't think I'm gonna cry, but I'll just listen to Barriers and think of all the times that I have cried, and just I don't know, play The Sims or something, be happy.
You think I look alright with these mascara tears? See, I'm gonna draw my lipstick whiter than my mouth, and if the lights are low, they'll never see me frown. Hey.
Where'd you go? Hello? 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 Why do I always do this? Why has this happened to me so many times before, where I lose the eyelash? Hello? Hello? Stay. You stay. I also realized that I had this little setup too close to my seat, so it's probably been jiggling the whole time. I'm really sorry. This whole video is probably a huge mess. Oh, drowning lessons and mascara tears. My goodness. This is the panda life, isn't it? This is my life.